I thought my marker bag was out already, but I think I put it away. Is there somebody else that needed a marker? No. Okay. How about that one? Does that work? Okay. Those of you coming in, we are doing what we call comparison number stories today. Basically what we're doing is we're taking two things and we're saying how they are different than the other. We're comparing them, kind of like what we do in language arts with our stories. Okay, so here's an example of a comparison number story. Number story is just a fancy way of saying word problem. Joey scored 30 points. Max scored 10 points. How many more points did Joey score than Max? I said math. So here is my quantity and difference diagram. Don't do anything yet on your board. Don't do anything yet on your board. Let's first of all figure out what information we're going to find first. Now, we have two boxes. We have a big quantity box and we have a small quantity box. The big quantity box is where your biggest number is going to go. The small quantity box is where your smaller number is going to go. So if I look at my word problem, Joey scored 30 points, Max scored 10 points. How many more points did Joey score than Max? What is the biggest quantity that I have in that problem? Timothy?
30.
30. And Timothy, if you continue to use your marker as a toy, you won't use your dry erase marker in Boyd. So I would put 30 in my large box to remind myself. That's helping my brain remember. This is my biggest number. And when I subtract, I always have to start with my biggest number. So then my smallest quantity is what number then? Logan, we're not drawing anything on the board. Logan, what is my smallest quantity? What is my smallest number in that problem?
10.
10. So I would put that in my small box. And this difference is my mystery number. That's what I'm looking for. How much difference is there between 30 and 10? So the way I have to find a difference problem usually is I'm going to start with my big number and I'm going to take away my small number to figure out what my difference is. Or if you are a person that likes to do counting up, you can start with your small number and count up your mystery number till you get to your big number to figure out what the difference is. Either one of these two ways would work. So now on your dry erase board, I want you to tell me what the difference is. Joey scored 30 points. Max scored 10 points. How many more points did Joey score than Max? Write down the problem that you would choose to solve this parts or comparison number story. You can either do it as a subtraction problem or you can do it as an addition problem. But write down the problem, hello Landon, write down the problem that you would use to solve this number story. Thank you, Jake. When you have it ready there, hold it up, Kinsley. Thank you, Yanessa. Gwen.
Can you write the answer?
You can write the answer, yeah. You don't have to put the question mark right now. I want to see how you would solve it, whether or not you would do a counting back or a counting up. Doesn't matter to me which way you do it, one or the other. Kinsley, let me see the problem that you're going to do to solve this. You're either going to do a subtraction problem or an addition problem. Write it out on your piece of paper or your board. Hold it up for me. And I'll come around and zoom here so I can see who's doing what. Derek, I want you to look at the two problems that I have on the board. Because the one that you have on your board is not one that we can choose. You can either do this kind of problem or you can do this kind of problem. But we are not adding the two numbers together. Put your feet down. Face the board, please. Jose, I'm going to tell you the same thing. We're not adding the two numbers together. I need to see the whole problem, Levi. Not arrows. Just the whole problem.
I'm making an open number line.
You don't have to make an open number line just yet. So, if I start with 30 and I take away 10, or if I start at 10 and I count up to 30, what would my mystery quantity be? What is the difference between those two numbers? How many more points did Joey score than Max, Angelina? He scored 20 more points. So my difference is 20. If I start at 30 and I count back 10, I get to 20. Or if I start at 10 and I count up to 30, I would get to 20. So Joey scored 20 more points than Max. Let's try another one. And then we're going to practice them in our books. All right. Nan is 55 inches tall. Mandy is 40 inches tall. Who is shorter and how much shorter? Well, first of all, who is shorter? If Nan is 55 inches tall and Mandy's 40 inches tall, who is shorter? Derek, who's shorter, Nan or Mandy? Mandy is shorter because Mandy is only 40 inches tall. So Mandy is, whoops, where's my pen? Come on, pen, there you go. Mandy is the shorter one. Now, we have to figure out how much shorter is Mandy than Nan. So, let me fill out our quantity difference diagram here. Remember, the biggest quantity box goes for the biggest number that's in our word problem. What is the biggest number in our word problem, Zayden?
It's 55.
55, thank you. And what is then the smallest one, Zayden?
40.
40. And now we need to figure out what is the difference between 55 and 40. So you can solve it two different ways. You could start at 55 and count back 40 to find your mystery number. Or, actually there's three ways, but we'll do it this way. You could start at 40 and count up your mystery number to get to 55. Or you could start at 55 and count back a mystery number so you get to 40. Either way, figure out what is the difference. How much shorter is Mandy than Nan? Pick a way to solve it. Write it on your board. When you have it at home, hold it up. And I'll zoom around the room real quickly here. Show me how you would solve this problem. Make sure you write the whole problem, Logan, on your board. Make sure you show the answer with it too. You don't have to put the question mark. You can put the answer. What would you get? How much shorter is Mandy than Nan? If you choose to add, then you need to start with a smaller number and count up to the bigger number. You could do it that way, yes. But you're not adding the two numbers together. We're not adding the two numbers together. Erase. Okay, but then that's not your answer, Kaden. Great, Vanessa, thank you. Figure out what that would be, Kaden, if you started at 55 and you counted back 40. Kinsley, that's not what we're doing, hon. Thanks, Jake. Kinsley, we're either starting at 55 and taking away 40, or starting at 40 and counting up to 55, or starting at 55 and counting down till we get to 40. We're not adding numbers together to get to it. We need to figure out how much shorter is Mandy. She's shorter than Nan. We need to figure out how much shorter she is. We don't have these numbers at all in our problem. So let's use a strategy here that we haven't used recently, but we will use it now because I like this strategy. And Kaden, you're going to solve it using this strategy for us since you don't have anything on your board yet. We're going to use an open number line. Now, Kaden, would you rather count up or count back?
Count back.
You'd rather count back? Okay, so which number do I want to start with on my open number line then? Well, if I'm going to count back, I have to start with my big number.
Okay, so
I'm going to start with 55 then. Okay, I'll put 55 right here. Now, when I do an open number line, what do I jump by first?
you jump by.
Oh, before you give me that answer, you can decide. Do you want to just leave it open and jump back the smaller number, or do you want to have the smaller number be your end or your stop number? Do you want 40 to be your stop number? Okay, so I'm going to put 40 like about here on my number line so that I know that I'm starting at 55 and I'm going to jump back until I get to 40. Okay? So now, can you answer my question again? What do I want to jump by first for my open number line? I want to jump by 10. So the first jump I'm going to make is I'm going to start at 55. I'm going to jump 10. Am I going to do plus 10 or minus 10? Minus 10. Timothy, it'd be a good idea to pay attention to this so you know how to solve this problem. If I start at 55 and I count back 10, Caden, what is it? 45. I'm getting closer to 40, but I'm not quite there. I need to do another jump. What kind of jump do you think I should count back this time? 5. Now it looks bigger because I just happened to leave a big gap. So I'm counting up or down? Down. So I'm going to go minus 5. And I count from 45 back 5 and I reach 40. So now I've gotten to my end number. I've started at 55 and I've counted my mystery number till I get to 40. I just have to put these two numbers together to figure out what my mystery number is going to be. So if I put 10 and 5 together, what is my mystery number? 10 plus 5 is 15. Mandy is 15 inches shorter than Nan. Okay, that's one of the ways that we could have solved that. 15 inches shorter than Nan. All right, let's try another one. Then we're going to practice in our bookie books. There we go. There we go. All right, here's my quantity and difference diagram. A radio costs $47. A calculator costs $12 less than the radio. How much does the calculator cost? So we just know that it costs $12 less. We don't know how much it costs altogether. But I can use my quantity difference diagram to help me remember, to help me figure out how to solve it. Remember, my big box for my quantity is going to be my biggest number in the problem. So my biggest number in the problem is going to be what? Logan, what's the biggest number in my problem? 47. So I'm going to start with 47 here. And then my smaller number, Logan, is? 12. And then I need to figure out what is the difference. Okay? So I can solve this in a couple different ways. I could start at 47 and I could count back 12 till I get to my difference. I could start at 12 and count up until I get to 47 and figure out what my difference is. I could start at 47 and I could count back a mystery number till I get to 12. Those are the ways that we could solve that problem. Pick one way to solve it. And don't forget to, you can always use that open number line, if that helps. So decide how you want to solve that so that we can figure out how much does the calculator cost. I need to see the whole math problem. We're not adding them together. These are not adding together problems at all today. All of our problems are subtraction. We're not adding any of them together. And it's not going to help you to look on somebody else's board because when we take the test, you'll have to know how to do it on your own. It's not going to help you to look on somebody else's work. Thank you, Jake. Oh, and I'm going to show you another strategy, too, that we can use to solve this one after we do this open number line. All right, I'll give you about another 20 more seconds. All right. Let's see how much this calculator costs. We know that the radio costs $47. We know that the calculator costs $12 less. Now, Alina, how much does the calculator cost?
$47.
The radio costs $47. How much does the calculator cost?
$12.
No, the calculator costs $12 less than the radio. What did you get as your answer? How much does the radio cost? What did you get as your answer to your math problem? I see it on your board. What number do you have? $35. Okay? $35 is how much the calculator costs. Now, I see that you did an open number line. Okay? So let's use your example. How did you do your open number line?
I put 47 there.
Okay, you started with 47.
Then I jumped up 10 and I subtracted 10.
So you jumped back 10, okay?
And I got 37.
Okay.
And I jumped back 2 and what equals 35.
So you decided to jump back just 12 altogether to get to your answer, okay? So really what you did, and I like your strategy, is you started at 47 and you took the 12 away to figure out that your answer would be 35. That's one way you could do it. Now, let me show you another strategy that you could use for this. Don't forget base 10 shorthand's always your friend, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you could draw base 10 shorthand. You could show 47, 4 longs, and 7 cubes, 5, 6, 7, okay? And you could take away 12 of those in base 10 shorthand. So I could do this. I could say, let me take away 1 long, pretend that one's not there, and 2 cubes, because 12 is 1 long and 2 cubes. And then I can count what I have left. 10, 20, 30. Derek, I hope you're paying attention. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. My difference is $35. All right. Now, odd numbers, go ahead and put your dry erase boards markers away. We're going to start doing some of these